to this Champions League night of nights. Yes, it is the night that we can reach the knockout playoff stage of the Champions League. All going well. It is this team is my predicted team. It is not the actual team. I've not got the information as yet. It will be out. So this team is my projected team for this evening. So don't think that I've had privy to the team already. All going well. It is just checking that. All's fine. Lots of people in the house. Square Sausage. Wonder if Baz has any hair because of that hat. Yeah, loads of hair because of the hat. Millions in the house. Stephen Johnson's, Paul Bears, and everyone is in the house. I tell you one thing. I was looking at a bit of Celtic transfer news just before the team is announced by Celtic. With the fact that a player that Celtic were looking at, Raul, from the Spaniards, Raul, that we were looking at, the fact that he now has an injury, there's a possibility that we may be able to get Jota on loan until the end of the season. So watch out for that one, because Rennes are after Kyogo Furiashi. That won't matter tonight. It won't matter a jot tonight that Rennes are after Kyogo Furiashi, but it's just one of those things, isn't it? It's going to be an interesting end. And the news also, we can bring in 3 players to the Champions League squad. We can only register 3 new players for the next round of the Champions League. And I think that would be interesting if Rennes do come in for Kyogo, and a 10 million offer for Kyogo, and part of that brings back Jota. Would Celtic play Jota or as a striker, or would they move Daisen Maeda to the striker role? Daisen Maeda plays as striker for Japan. I think he would be the preferred one to move into the striker role. But I mean, it's a permutation that's been kicking around today, and I'm just like, could that actually happen? Could it happen? Clement, no, I don't want that. Celtic. So it is roughly around about 8 minutes. The Celtic bus had arrived about 10 minutes ago to Celtic Park, so you'll get the normal picture that goes up of the team, of the stadium and lights. Celtic are asking you to do a quiz. Well, thanks. Not got time for that. Here's everything you need to know about the game tonight. Celtic versus Young YB Bern. Yep, and there's the next match up. So there's nothing new on Twitter as yet, or on any Celtic socials, by the looks of it. Once the team is up, I will change this. Yes, it's not the actual team, it's a projected team. It is the team that I thought, I'm just waiting for the news that Taylor's gone from the club, says Paul Baird. Any win by any means? Well, any win by any means, but when you look at this, let me just get this on the screen. We'll do this live. Do this window here. And why is it not going up? I'll just get that. It's not that one, it's this one. Why is it not changing? Cabal, that's the wrong screen. Still the wrong screen. You had a screen ready and it's not playing ball. There we go, it's that one. I'll just get this again. Copy, do this, get it on the right screen this time. There we go, it's live. And then if we do this, This should happen. Yes, that's it. Now, if you look at the Champions League table as it stands just now, Celtic are sitting down here in 23rd position. It is a little bit nick and tuck, because when you look at some of the score lines that may happen, I mean, ultimately Celtic could finish up in around about 16th position, but they may not, and they may finish down about 17, 18, depending on other score lines. So it's going to be a night where we're not only watching the game, but we're keeping an eye on the league table. And as it stands, Aston Villa are sitting in number 8 spot. They're sitting in number 8 spot. So they will need to win against us to qualify. They've moved up a position, have they not? Aston Villa have moved up a position from earlier. Now there is a live game playing just now. Said there's a couple of games. That doesn't add up. Shakhtar are winning 2-0. Jesus. Shakhtar are winning 2-0. It doesn't have a direct effect on Celtic, but it just shows you the teams that are down there. I mean, Shakhtar have lost 4 of the last 5 games, and they're currently winning 2-0. That must have been an earlier start. An earlier start tonight in Sporting. Who are they playing? But anyway, that's one thing that we'll keep an eye on. Shakhtar 2-0. Sporting, the teams down the bottom. Leipzig are winning as well. Interesting evening. But anyway, it is all about Celtic and what we can do. We need to score as many goals as we can. People saying just score one and win the game and get up to the 12-point mark. You're not necessarily going to be that high up, and you want to be seeded also. You want to be seeded for the final, for the playoff positions. Definitely want to be seeded. But we just need to wait and see what happens tonight. And as soon as the team does come out, we'll Celtic have got the Paradise Windfall Super Draw half time. Get the app, and then it's got the gamblebeaware.org. £15,000 can be won at half time. I think it's better when somebody in the stadium wins it. I mean, I'm all for technology and everything, but seeing somebody that's got a ticket and bought the ticket at the game. I mean, if somebody wins it that's sitting at home on the app and they're not in the stadium, it kind of takes away from the win, doesn't it? You want to see somebody walking up and getting their picture taken with the oversized check and whatever celeb that they can pull out to get their picture taken. Celtic has just put the... Oh, come on! What a picture! What a picture! I'll need to get this on the screen. What a picture Celtic has just put up. Absolutely cracking picture. The Champions League trophy. Let's do it on this one. Browse, do it on that. And we'll get the picture into size. Get the picture there. This is the picture that Celtic have just put on social media. It is the picture that they've just put onto social media. Celtic Park with the big cup. They won the big cup and they bring it home. Come on, Celtic! Yes! Come on! Yes! That stayed there. What a picture that is. If there's ever an iconic picture at Celtic Park, that is it. That is the picture. That is absolutely fantastic. Brilliant. That's just to get us buzzing. Welcome home, wee Lorna's home. I want the 15k and I'm at home. Tell me what. Bobby Reed's go for 3-1 Celtic. Lorna's back in the house. Glad to be back. She's missed us all. She's probably got a great tan and she's never thought about us once. Beautiful Baz, just where it belongs. Can we dare to dream? Can we dare to dream? It's a big ask, isn't it? It's a massive ask, but it is the big cup. It is the big cup, and it is there at Celtic Park. Baz been in the boozer? Nope, no, not at all. Been at the gym. Got to the gym about an hour ago. Got to the gym I got to the spa about an hour ago. I was in the gym before that. Sitting in the jacuzzi, sitting in the steam room. So that. Celtic cannot depend on other teams tonight in the Champions League. We need to do it ourselves. Yes, we do need to do it ourselves. And I'm still going by that we need to score at least 4 goals tonight to make ourselves. I want to be seeded, because if you're not seeded, when you look at some of the teams, that are there and thereabout, it's not going to be easy to then qualify for the last 16. I mean, getting to the knockout phases is going to be even harder. We do have a chance, absolutely fantastic chance, and that's a cracking picture that Celtic have put up. Let me read some of the comments. We should steal it and pretend we won it. In 100 years, no one will know. We did win it, Danny. Jesus. And anyway, get the job effing done, says Bricky. Placing pride in a place. The next comment. Please start Engels and Bernardo. We've already got one. Don't be greedy. Shut up, you Doug. We've already got one. We need another one. We need 2 stars on our shirt. And you only have these stars for winning the Champions League. Right, I need to get off this because the Celtic team will be announced. Waiting for Rodgers to hook up the win in the midfield. We're winning that. I don't think can you dare to dream? Tierney and Schmeichel playoffs. Tierney and Schmeichel in playoffs. Job done. It'll be great if Celtic do announce Kieran Tierney in the next couple of days. That will give the fans another little bit of a boost before the end of the transfer window. Let's just update this page, as the team will be out in 1 minute's time. The Celtic team will be out in 1 minute's time. The official team, not the team that you're looking at there, because it's not there anymore, is it? Hey, the Champions League trophies there, Baz. Jesus, oh my goodness. How many trophies did the Olco steal? Quite a lot. The European champs 1967. Yep, that is Celtic. Right, let's get back to the Celtic team, and it will be announced in around about 45 seconds. The big cup, that is an absolute iconic picture with the Champions League trophy. Yes, and Celtic are a team that can do that picture officially. We are allowed to place our Champions League trophy, our European Cup, on the pitch. When people walk into the stadium and onto that pitch tonight, they will walk past the big trophy because we have won the big cup. Bring it home, Brendan. Bring it home. It's all we ask. Bring it home. Could you imagine if Brendan went on to do team news? Schmeichel, Johnson, Carter Vickers, Trusty, Taylor, McGregor, Engels, Hatate, Kuhn, Maida and Kyogo, Sinisalo, Baines, Scales, Palmer, Adam, Ida, Alex Baye, Yang, McCowan, Norobski, Bernardo, Murray. Dane Murray makes the team. That's an interesting one. I didn't think he was in the squad. And Tony Ralston also makes the team. Give me around about 20 seconds to get this one up onto the screen. It'll not even take that. It'll take less than that tonight. We'll change this picture. Cancel that. Image. And bring the image up, and there we go, and okay, and there we go. There is the image. There is the team. How quick is that? That's way quicker, isn't it? That's a lot better and a lot quicker. There is the team. There is your official Celtic team to start the Champions League tonight. Kasper Schmeichel, who has just signed a new 1-year extension to 2026, is in the house. Alistair Johnston plays in his normal position. Carter Vickers, Austin Trusty and Greg Taylor all at the back. Callum McGregor takes up his holding midfield role with Arnie Engels and Rio Hatate. in the midfield as I expected, and Nico Kuhn, Dyson Maeda and Kyogo are also up front, which is normal. On the bench, we have Sinisalo, we have Bain, we have Scales, and at the back we have Palma, we have Adamida, Alex Baye and Yang. Luke McCowan is on the bench, as is Mark Norowski. He's on the bench also, a big Rocky, and Paulo Bernardo, Dane Murray and Tony Ralston is also on the bench. That's a fantastic team, and it's a team with a substitutes bench that if need be can get it done. It is a fantastic bench, and it's just what we needed. Brilliant. It's the strongest team that we had, let's face it, and there's nobody. I did say that he would play Engels and Hatate. You've got to go with what you class as your most experienced players. You do have to go with what you class as your most experienced players. It's the only thing that Brendan... And if Brendan didn't... I mean, if he was to drop Hatate, for instance, and play Bernardo, people would say, why drop Hatate? You know, he's our best midfielder. 5 defenders on the bench. It could be one of those nights. Where we need to just maintain. They're going to go for it. It's not going to be easy. Stephen Kelly's going for a 3-1 or 3-0 Celtic. McCowan will be on in the second half when Hatate gets hooked. Yes, Celtic manager, right. But in saying that, just for laughs, it's 4-3-3. Yeah, it's 4-3-3 all day long. And it's, let's get this onto the land of Twitterati. See if we can get some more people on. Let me see what some people are saying on the land of the internet. I'm on the hoops into them from the start. Please, young Dane Murray. Hopefully see more of him between now and the end of the season. I don't think you'll see a lot of Dane Murray, to be honest. He's not going to get in front of Scales. Give them effing hell, says Luke 67. And there's a oh, Jesus. You've always got some idiot zombie that's got to post on it. I mean, Celtic's in the Champions League. They should be feel embarrassed even posting on Celtic stuff. And do you know what? I'm going to just block him so I never see him again. That's the good thing about social media. You just block idiots so you never see them again. And for the start, come on the leather belts. As I'm on the Celtic. Please... And if Hatate is having the same form as the last few weeks, hook him after 20 minutes. Hook Rio Hatate. Massive night for Rio. Shuts us all up and goes on to play a blinder. Patience is key. Well, let's hope he does. Let's play the Celtic way. We Andy on the bench. Come on, Celtic. Yeah, that's enough of the lands of Twitter. Let's see what the comment section is saying here. The Jagged God says if we get a fast goal, it'll be 3-0, kill it off. If it drags on, it's 2-1, it's a tight game. Need the midfield to step up and fight for every ball. Will Brendan Rodgers, I know he'll not change the formation, but for me, I would hope that you would bring your wingers into the midfield to solidify the midfield. I would hope that you want to win that midfield battle tonight. And if you tell the wingers just to hold back so that the midfield three can go into a tighter position in the middle of the field, just see us playing a bit better rather than have the wide men away up front beside Kyogo and trying to get the fast balls out to them. We need them back in the midfield a bit to just have a little bit of a more compact midfield tonight, and hopefully that will do it. Trusty needs to top up his game, says James Duffin. That's about as good a lineup as it gets. It does that, Mark. I don't think you're going to get any better than that when you look at it. But it is a fantastic... If there's anyone that you want to get 110% out, I've got to say that if Greg Taylor performs the way that he can tonight, it should help us slightly. Greg Taylor will come into that inverted midfield role, which will help. But... 100% bad midfield battle will be key. Yep, it's paramount tonight. We need to win. We need to be dominant. We need to just Calmac lay down a marker right in the middle of that field and saying, this is our ground, you try and get past us. And never mind trying to be dominant and let them sit back. I mean, they're going to try and sit back and hit us on the break. We need to make sure that our midfield is more compact, because there's far too many games in the last couple of weeks where, let's face it, we've been far too spread out in the midfield. While the wingers are sticking to the byline, further up the pitch slightly, it's left lots of space in the midfield, and it's easy for teams to hit us on the break, as we've saw in a couple of games. Pace and physicality is going to be a big factor in how we perform tonight. I'm going to say 2-1 Celtic. I don't want it to be 2-1. I'm still going for 4. Even though I've seen that team and I've seen some of the results from last night, I am still going to go Celtic 4, Young Boys 0. I'm still going to go for 4-0. The noise from the fans right from the start needs to be top notch, says Boy67. It does that. Then it says, we need to finish our chances, too many being missed. Yes, and I think if we do not put away our chances tonight, you will see activity in the transfer market before the end of the window, that's for sure. Stephen Johnson's going for 5-0. Joe McFarlane is going for 3-0 Celtic. Give me your score predictions in the chat. A one goal win is not good enough. We need 4 or 5. With James Duffin, we definitely need 4. When we look, I'll put this screen back on. And it's changed again. I want this one, that one. So who's done it this time? There we go. When you see the table and you see the team, I mean, that's the teams at the bottom of the table. When you go up to where Celtic are, oh Jesus. When you go up to where Celtic are, let me just move this screen. Celtic are sitting in 23rd position. We've dropped down 2 spaces overnight with the round of Champions League game that were played. Now, if I go on to the results simulator, let me just see, is that still on the screen? Let's close that down. Oh, that didn't work. Close the screen down. Oh well, that's it. Yes. When you go into if you go to the Champions League website, you can go into a results simulator, and it shows you where Celtic can potentially finish if they were to. And if they were to score as many goals, if they were to win 4-0, it shows you. But then you put in the score lines for other teams, and it shows you roughly where Celtic will end. I did it earlier, and I played about with it, and it looks like if things don't go our way with other score lines, Celtic could finish 16th or 17th tonight. They could finish 16th or 17th, depending on other score lines in the Champions League. It's all for us to do. It is all for us to do. The fact that we do have the opportunity to just get to the playoffs, it's a massive, 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 massive night for Celtic. Absolutely huge night. 4-1 says Mark. Jim's going for 4-0. Lorna Gallagher's going for 3-0. Mark's going for 4-1. The tick, Mick is off. He's at the game. Ryan Giggs to come off the bench tomorrow at Old Trafford, and Bury Sevco. Here's hoping, because they really need something in. Man United are terrible. Like your new front bars. Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's a new setup. You always got to keep progressing, as they say. There's a lot of competition for views out there. A lot of competition for views on Celtic channels, and you've got to just keep on progressing. And I always do at this time of year. I always try and up the channel's game just a little bit. And there are things in the offing that will make it even more interactive with the help of Kaiser. And he's not here tonight. I wonder where he is. Anyway, yeah, with the help of Kaiser. Celtic Man's going for 4-0. Boy 67 is going 2-0 half time, 4-0 at full time. That's an interesting score. Jesus, John's going for 9-0. Well, here's hoping, because 9-0 would definitely, and Mr. Quinn's already got his lucky rum and Stella. I've got a green edition Red Bull to see me through this video. And then I'm going to crack open my beer. Catholic Rebels going for 5-1. 5-1. We need to really score 4 clear goals. KT's on the bench for Arsenal. Interesting one. James Duffin says, Baz, your channel stops. Yeah, it's good, mate. It is. Thank you for that. But there is a lot of competition for views out there, and I do appreciate that there is a lot of channels. Kaiser wants his spanner back. I've spoke to Kaiser, and he doesn't want his spanner back. I was speaking to him this morning, Dave. We're trying to slimline the channel anyway, and you can get too busy with spanners sometimes. Stephen Kelly says, I can see Man United win 3-1. Who cares about them? And then tomorrow get Paddy Power on. Yep, I'm on the Stella already. Jesus. Baz, I've got something green as well, but it's not for drinking. It's Mark. Hey. Kaiser's getting ready for the One Celtic View Ultras Professional Drinkers Sesh, Baz. Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. I will try, yeah, I'm watching it in the house tonight, so I might try and jump on. Anyone will do, says Square Sausage Mick. Andrew Kirk says, hi Baz and all the Hoops fans. Interested in a score, just win from the boys tonight. I understand what people are saying. Baz is on the Fenian Red Bull. Yep, this is the Fenian Red Bull, the green edition. You only get that in Scotland, will you? Or do you? It's brilliant. The green edition. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, I'm buying as much of that as I can. Yes, come on the boys. Come on the Celtic. If KT plays for Arsenal, he will not be able for Celtic in the playoffs. Peter Larkin, we cannot buy anybody to play in the playoffs. We can only buy someone to play in the last 16. So anyone that we do buy, we cannot play them until the playoffs is still classed as the first phase of the Champions League. We can bring in 3 players for the last 16 phase. If we make it to the last 16, we can bring in another 3 players. Try the green edition. It isn't for me, but love the colour of the can. Yeah, it's brilliant. So yeah, let me see what some of the headlines are about Celtic. The Celtic start 11, the team's up. Brendan names his team for a must-win clash. A must-win clash. I hate it when they say that. Young boys confirmed. The Celtic team and the young boys team is confirmed. Brendan Rodgers names the Celtic starting 11 to take on young boys. Celtic website, there come out, we're there. It's set to be an electric night at Celtic Park this evening as the Hoops face Swiss champions YB Bern under the Paradise Lights in the penultimate match of the UEFA Champions League phase. That's a tongue twister, eh? The UEFA Champions League phase. Brendan Rodgers and his side know, after a strong UEFA Champions League campaign so far, a victory over YBB tonight will be enough to secure a place in the UEFA Champions League knockout phase, with a trip to Aston Villa still to come next week. Ahead of tonight's huge European match for Brendan Rodgers has named the same team that started against Kilmarnock in the Scottish Cup on Saturday. Austin Trusty and Cameron Carter-Vickers start in the central defence for the Hoops, whilst Arne Engels, Rio Hatate and Callum McGregor make up the heart of the Celts in midfield. Nico Kuhn, Dyson Maeda start in the wide position this evening, with Kyogo leading the front line for the Scottish champions. The team in full is Michael Johnson, Carter-Vickers. Yeah, we've seen it. Yeah, we've seen it. But anyway, absolutely brilliant. Let's get back to the table, because there is a couple of games live at this moment, and let's just hope that they don't make. Really, you want Brest to get beat. They are getting beat 2-0, so that keeps them in contention for Celtic jumping above them if we can get a result against Aston Villa. I'm just looking at the league. Who's moved up then? Nobody's moved up tonight. Everyone's moving down places, which is good, because Sporting are getting beat and they're still on 10 points. So Celtic really need a big scoring win tonight. Big scoring win. 4-0 would do it very, very nicely. Still can't believe that PSG are in the elimination places. PSG and there's Kaiser there. Is that your first comment? I'm just seeing some catching up. Hey Kaiser's in the house. Into this mob Celtic. And he'll be doing his drink along on his channel. Or I don't know, where's he doing it? I'm not sure. First, McCann getting excited. Square Sausage Mick, our Brest playing 2 up front. I have no idea. I hope so. If it's 3 up front, that's going to look awfully weird, isn't it? Oh Jesus, the banter never stops, does it? But anyway, who do you think? Tell me in the comments who you think the first substitution by Brendan Rodgers will be tonight. When you see the team when you see the players that are on the bench, I think the first player to get the hook may be a midfield player. Brendan might want to just freshen up the midfield. But then you never know. And if it's anybody, it'll probably be Arne Engels. He'll end up picking Engels off. I don't know why he never took Hatate off the last couple of games, but he usually goes. But then again, he might change Hatate for Bernardo. Bernardo's got a little bit of European pedigree. This is the game that you want. But this is the game that Paulo Bernardo came to Celtic to play for. This is the game that Paulo Bernardo dreamed of when he signed for Celtic. Trusty first sub. Hatate first person to be subbed. Engels for Bernardo. That's what I think. I think the manager will. Aston Villa manager was asked yesterday if he would take it easy against Celtic, and Xander was resounding no, despite them qualifying. Yeah, but they want to get automatic quality. It's not confirmed. They still need to win. Aston Villa still need to win against Celtic to get a guaranteed position in the last 16. They could drop down. They could drop down into the playoff place, and this is why it's a massive game for Aston Villa. Celtic could be hopefully in a position where it might be possible. It might be possible for us to overtake Aston Villa. That would be funny as anything. Hatate off, McCowan on, maybe or Bernardo. I think it'll be Bernardo. Bernardo's got that European experience about him. I think that Luke McCowan is a year away from holding down a regular berth in that midfield at Champions League level. And Paul Baird to a T. Taylor hooked after getting injured. Oh, don't say that, Paul, because then we can't sell him at the end of the week. You do not want Paul Baird. You do not want Greg Taylor to get an injury. Because if he's going to be sold, it will be after the Aston Villa game. Stephen Kelly says, I would get Dumbelli back. Imagine him playing off Kyogo. I think Kyogo will be sold. Taylor off Valley, Alex Baye on. Could be. Just if we're 2-0 up, I could see that happening just to make sure that Taylor is wrapped in cotton wool in case we need to sell him. Baz, Big Rab C says, hey ho Baz and everyone else. Hatate off, Bernardo on. Help keep the ball in the 30 minutes of the game. Baz, I can see both now. Stephen Johnson, good stuff. Good stuff, Stephen. That's good. I'm glad that worked. Just watched that video, Lambs to the Slaughter. Waiting on that mob to hear the hoops. Imagine Jota as a choice again. I think that's the one to watch for. If you're looking for a transfer that might come out of the blue, is the fact that Rennes are looking at Jota and Rennes are willing to take Kyogo after the last two. They're waiting until after the last 2 rounds of the Champions League before making a move if they are going to go for Kyogo Furuhashi. Now, they also want rid of Jota. Now, the Turkish side have not agreed to the fee of 6.7 million, I believe it is, for Jota. If they have the obligation to buy, they have not agreed that fee, so that has paused the deal. There has been suggestion that Celtic could come in and take Jota back as part of the deal that sees Kyogo Furuhashi go to them, which would be interesting, which means that Celtic would then play Dyson Maeda as your first choice striker, and then it would put the man, the living legend that buggered off for the £10 million, it would see Jota playing on the wing. So it is an interesting one. Jota's going for 6.5 million or so, Coffee says. Yep. I thought it was 6.7, but it's 200 grand, isn't it? Going to leave you, Baz, preview on TV with Lenny. Hail, everyone. Cheers for that. I was just, everyone will disappear now. That would be fantastic. Jota back and Kieran at left back. Could you imagine, Baz, do the watch along with Kaiser? I'd be sitting on, because then I need to take my phone through. And I'm going to be sitting on the sofa watching it. I might join him at half time. But as would you trade Kyoto and bring Jota back as part of the deal? Yes, because I think that when you look at it, the winger that we were looking at from Spain, he's just got a shoulder injury, so that rules him out this transfer window. I think that if there is any chance that there is a chance that we can get Jota on loan, it wouldn't surprise me if we brought Jota in on loan to the end of the season with an option to buy, just to see how he gets on under Brendan, and then if it doesn't work out, Brendan will then go back for the player that he wanted at this window. It's just my thinking, but I could be completely wrong. It would only cost Celtic 200,000 more than we brought Jota for the first time, which would be crazy amount of money. But when you look at it, can Jota do it for us in the Champions League? Could you imagine him with this team? I think it would be fantastic. But let's just get one at a time. Enjoy the game, Baz. I'll drop you a link. Perfect, Kaiser. I'm going to be sitting on the couch watching the telly, so I don't want to move anything. Do you know how the setup is? But yeah, I think that if it depends. It depends. There's a set of dominoes at Celtic Park waiting to get put into place before they all just go. And it's. I think that's why we've not brought in anyone so far. One, people are waiting to the last games of the Champions League, which means there's players that we're looking at are potentially in Champions League teams, and they're not willing to do anything. We did sell Jota for 25 million, so we're quids in. Yes, we are, Coffee. We're quids in. With that oxygen to buy. Stephen Kelly says, so what mate Dombele and Kyogo would destroy? You're not going to keep a hold of Kyogo. You're not going to keep a hold of Kyogo. The first 10 million offer comes for who drops out? Baz Maida Kun. Dyson Maida goes into striker mode. Dyson Maida plays for striker, plays as striker for the national team. So you would play Dyson Maida. If we don't get a striker in, hail to Stuart Ramsey. If you don't get a striker in, Kids for Garden's still an option, but if we lose Louis Palma as well, no. Okay. Ooh. So yeah, Baz, mind you're always welcome down here. always. Even Baz and all the Celtic fans. Dombele was amazing, but he's not going to work for Brendan Rodgers. When you look at it, if Luis Palma goes, we need another winger in anyway. Luis Palma will be going somewhere. If it's still up in the air whether he's going to go to Spain or not, and there are a few clubs down in England. So Luis Palma is definitely out the door. We would need another winger in, and what a better winger to get in on loan to the end of the season, Jota. You're not spending any money on him. If it's part of the Kyogo deal, it would be fantastic. But yeah, Kyogo serves as well with us. I think the first 10 million that comes in, Celtic will really, really struggle to knock it back. Baz is getting my marching orders. Yeah, I am that. Paul Beard, if Kyogo doesn't go this window, he will in the summer for sure. I think so. Square Sausage Mick says, I want us just to sign a striker. His name is Baz. Yeah, exactly. I'm not bothered about losing Kyogo, says Coffee. Yep. James Duffin says, I wanted to succeed. Forget about 3 to 5 million. We need to be buying 10 to 20 million pound players with European experience. Yep, is that. Luis Palma is the Spanish for Mikey Johnston. Oh, man. Luis Palma's Spanish for Mikey Johnson. Anyway, right. I am going to go and get ready for the game, and the missus is one. I don't know, been marching orders. Anyway, I will try and jump onto Kaiser's channel at half time. So if you're on Kaiser's drink along, you will see me there. And then if not, you'll see me. I will start a live just before the end of full time. Just before your predicted lineup yesterday's bang on bads. Yep, Highlander. That's you've got to think the way that Brendan thinks, and you've got to just get in that mode. Anyway, good old Spanish strikers Celtic could go for. Well, keep an eye out for that, because I'm going to go to a few games in the lower leagues of Spain, which there is some interesting players. Anyway, enjoy the game, everyone. I will be live just before the game ends tonight. And on that note, have an absolutely fantastic evening, Celtic fans all around the world. Come on, you boys in green. Let's go green.